sum of terms. So when I'm given f of x equals the square root of 2x plus 28, I cannot simplify this in any way, shape, or form because I have no rule for sum of terms and the radical on top. Because remember what this is basically 2x plus 28 raised to 1/2. I can't apply 1/2. I have to perform the addition first and then the power. So that's the reason why I cannot simplify a sum or a difference. But the pattern is f of whatever equals the square root of 2 times whatever plus 28. Okay, 2 times whatever plus 28. So I have to perform the operations in the order of operations. And 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 28 is 36. And now I know the answer is 6. Now, what if I need to evaluate for many other things? Now, normally the problems will ask you to determine the exact. 5 to the square root of 10 is exact. 15 dot la 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 is not. So when you go to y equals, and let's say you put in this function as the square root. I love parentheses, so I like to put parentheses. Some calculators will not put it without parentheses. So this one may or may not. I don't care. So this is the function that I am given. And I want to evaluate for 4. I already know the answer, but I'm just showing you how to evaluate it. And I get 6. But if I'm asked to evaluate for 3, and I get that whatever, I will have to simplify it in a different way. Because the problem may ask me not to put in whatever this is, but to put in an exact number. So the calculator will not help me with this. But at least I know what to expect. So how do I determine f of 3? Well, f of 3 is the same thing, 2 times 3 this time, plus 28. But this is 6 plus 28, which is the square root of 34. And this is carved in stone. This is the exact. What I got with the calculator was an irrational number, which is the square root of 34. But I don't care for that. One final step, and I'll stop, I promise, just on this problem. Remember we said that the square root requires positive or 0 underneath. How will I determine the domain? What is the procedure of finding a domain for this function? I have to make sure that this quantity, which is this quantity, under the square root, is exactly what this says, greater than or equal to 0. I move 28 to the other side. I divide by 2. So the domain of this function is from negative 14 to infinity. And this was the function. So if you ask me to evaluate for negative 14, I'll say it's 0. If you ask me to evaluate for 1500, I will whatever. But if you ask me to evaluate it for negative 10, I'll say sorry. I'm sorry, for negative 20. For negative 20, I'll say sorry. Negative 20 is not here, not real. You can only ask me to evaluate for something it's in the domain. Otherwise, I'll say sorry, I cannot give you a number.